All right, so here we are at the Golden State Omnium. This is a 2-day Omnium stage race points system similar to Murrieta. It's up in Rancho Cordova, which is just east going towards Tahoe from Sacramento. Beautiful day, beautiful weather. This is stage one. This is the criterium. It's so this is going into Bell App, and I'm on my teammate Bart's wheel here. He just pats his butt and tells me to get on his wheel. So this is where I messed up royally. He takes this right-hand turn here into turn one, and Brian Hennigan shoots through and strings it out. And I hesitated just a second right here. I should have followed Bart right there. I hesitated just a second, and then I get guys coming in on my left and my right, so I couldn't move up. So I thought I'll just move up after we make this right-hand turn. No big deal. They'll start, Pete's will string it out, and then I'll be able to move up and get back on Bart's wheel. The problem is, as you'll see here, is I can't get out. I'm stuck. Now I'm boxed in on both sides, and I'm thinking, crap. You know, the races, the fast sprinters are in front of me. I've got guys on both sides of me, and I just can't get out safely. I'm just waiting for someone to string it out so that I can sneak out and get it through. Here we're coming into turn three, and I finally get a chance to move up as soon as we turn into turn three, between turn three and four. But as you can see, I'm way too far back at this point. So I've got to do some crazy maneuvering to get up towards the front. I had really good legs, so I liked my chances in the sprint, but it's pretty hard to beat Dean LaBerge and Chris Baker when you're this far back. So I do my best. I get up there, and I end up getting fourth in the race. But I got 2 points pre, so I'm actually in the lead in the Omnium going into stage two, which is the circuit race. So we'll be cutting into the circuit race here shortly. I spliced them both together. Alright, now we're into the circuit race. This is day two. Similar area, as you can see, the top the courses are just kind of all merged together on the graphic there, so it doesn't really give you a good idea of where the circuit race is going, because the criterium was kind of splotched on top of it from yesterday too. But I had already gone for one of the point preems earlier and got second, but Dean LaBerge got first. So now we're tied. At this point, we're both tied at 35 points. Because he won yesterday, so he got 30 and a 5-point. And then with all my points preems in the fourth yesterday and the second place on the points preems today, I have 35 points also. So now it's Dean and I tied, and Chris Baker right behind us, so we gotta watch Chris Baker too. So there's like a three-way battle for the Omnium. I've got 4 teammates with me. I've got Danny Rondon from Visalia. I've got Bart Clifford from Thousand Oaks. I got John Lance from down in Los Angeles. And I also have Darren Williams, who lives in Indiana, near Indianapolis. So between the five of us, we've got a pretty solid team to kind of help make sure we keep things together. That's Chris Baker in front of me right there. He's definitely one of the strongest guys in this field, and he got second in the last time they had this Golden State Omnium. He did bring a couple of teammates with him in this race. He's got Alex Holtz with him, and I think he had one more as well. But Alex is just by himself, just a beast, and a good guy to have to set him up for the finish. There's Jeff Qualley. He's Mark Tucker's teammate. He's up there in the 60 plus. Pardon my voiceover in the beginning of the criterion because I'm so trying to figure out where we are in this race here, but no breakaways got away. There was quite a few attempts. We had Dan Casper visiting from Minnesota. He was on his way to Oregon to visit family and decided to stop over on his way. So that was pretty cool to see him. He's a national champion time trialer, criterium in the 55 plus, multiple national champion on the track. I think he might even be a world champion on the track. He's kind of like Larry Nolan. He just wins everything. But he had tried multiple times to get away, and Pete's Coffee has had their really strong team there, and they are controlling everything for Dean LaBerge, and also Larry Nolan, who's leading the 60 plus. So and they had Jay Newton and Nick Theobald, and God, who else did they have in there? These are strong guys. Oh, Dan Bryant. Dan Bryant, also super strong. He actually almost helped Dean win this race. There was 1 point supreme, and I snuck away without Dean, and all I had to do was beat Dan Bryant, and we were sprinting, and I was starting to come around him, but I hit this huge pothole, and it launched me on my bike, and I lost all of my momentum, and he was able to squeak by and hold off and get the 5 points. So I ended up with just the 3 points, but that gave me a slim 3-point lead at that point over Dean. So at this point now it's coming down to the final sprint, and I just need to make sure that I at least get better, no worse than 3rd place in the sprint. If I get worse than 3rd place in the sprint, then Dean will sneak by me in the points and win the overall. So here we are on the last lap, and there's a group of 2 that have been off the front, and you'll see Pete's Coffee get all of their guys to the front and just start drilling it to try to bring it back. So it's a 2-mile course. I'm just trying to stay near Dean. At this point, I wasn't really even trying to look for Bart. Um, my focus was to beat Dean. I just wanted a chance to get. I knew that Pete's was going to string it out on that long straightaway to the final chicane to the finish, and I really needed to be there on his wheel and at least have a chance, fighting chance to sprint. If I got second place, I'm still 2 points behind him. So as long as I'm 2 points behind him and not 3, then I'm golden. Because first place is 30, second place is 28, third place is 26. So if he gets, yeah, so you can see where the math is starting to play in. We got a 3-point difference between us. And Chris Baker, I believe, has he's like got 30 points. So if he won the race, then he would have 60, but he would still be behind Dean and I in the points. Let's see if things are getting a little hairy. The last lap's always crazy on this circuit race because there's different wind directions and lots of turns, and positioning is absolutely key. And Pizza's already forming their lead out train on the front, so I'm just locked onto Dean right here. I can't remember when I turned my camera off after the sprint, but essentially what happens is I had guys coming in on both sides of me, and I wasn't able to jump early like I wanted to. I wanted to jump early through the chicane, but I wasn't able to because there was, well, Chris Baker actually was right next to me. And then he launched and got past the Pete's train through the chicane, and Larry sprinted through the chicane with Dean on his wheel, but there was a little bit of a gap there up to Chris Baker. So when Dean and I started sprinting, that's how it ended up. Chris Baker, Dean LaBerge, and then me. So I ended up getting third in the sprint, but because of my points premiums, I had 64 points in the Omnium, and Dean had 63. So when you add up all the points together, I won by 1 point. So, all right, so that's Dan Casper's drilling it. So I'm just like, oh no, this is like the worst time to get boxed in. Like, I wanted to jump early through that chicane, and I just can't because there's Chris Baker right there. And then, all right, so I squeeze by. These guys are just getting in the way, you know. These guys are just, so everybody wants to win the race, I understand, but so Chris gets through the chicane clean. I finally get on Dean's wheel, but I got a little bit of a gap, and that's how it finishes. 1, 2, 3. Then I win the overall.
I got that nice. I might have squeaked by 1 point.
Right on, yeah, okay. Those two riders. Wilson girl on the back. Oh, that's good. Two to go.
got that nicely.